And I miss the studio. I mean, sure, the setup I got here is really nice, and it's at least as good as what the rest of the late night guys have. You got the camera, you got the lights, the backdrop. Hey, I even have my own one-person crew. Thanks, Bridget.
No worries, man. I got you.
Yeah. Just, I don't know, I miss the guys. I miss the chaos of setting up the show.
Did somebody say chaos?
Ah! Jeez, man, he scared the crap out of me!
You are obviously very stupid. I am not Jeez Man. I am the Mighty Jimmy.
You know that? Dude, give me back my studio!
Are you threatening the Mighty Jimmy, foolish mortal?
No, never. It's just that you've had it for weeks now. Wait, you were in the studio? What did you do to our studio?
The Mighty Jimmy has done nothing with the studio. It remains.
Then what the hell, man?
The Mighty Jimmy will explain with small words so even a stupid person could understand.
Okay, shoot.
The Mighty Jimmy is social distancing.
Wait, what? But aren't you,
The Mighty Jimmy is indeed all-knowing, but this virus is no laughing matter.
Wow. For once we finally agree on something.
The Mighty Jimmy does not need your approval.
I know that. It's just nice, just talking back and forth.
The Mighty Jimmy has grown tired of this complaining. I will give you my wisdom.
Well, I think we could all use some wisdom right now, Mighty GB. Thanks.
My wisdom is stay inside, wash your hands at least 20 seconds, and quit complaining. It makes you sound stupid and selfish. GB, out.
Recorded in Round Rock, Texas, the #1 place to shelter in place, it's the What's Update with Xander Quation.
Shelter in Place edition.
I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was a simple April Fool's Day joke, an innocent jest in an attempt to poke fun and lighten up the situation. But after days became weeks, I couldn't hide from it anymore. I couldn't look the other way. We're a satirical news show, damn it! This is my job!
Zan, you're getting really fired up there.
J'accuse! Ladies and gentlemen, the man you see before you is not who he has claimed to be. So now, with all the cameras rolling, I have only one question for you.
What, me? What did I do?
Yes, you, the audience, wants to know. How are you, Aaron?
Fine, I guess.
Or should I say, Daniel?
Whoa, wait. Where did that music come from?
Come on, Aaron. All Jews in the media have their own soundtrack queued up to add a musical sting for dramatic emphasis.
Is that true?
Maybe. But in all seriousness, what gives?
You see, that's a loaded question, because anyone can give, but what really matters is what you get back. Love is a two-way street. Or a three-way, if you're into that.
Is it, though? No, Aaron. You've changed. You're not the man I once knew. It wasn't all that long ago when you walked into my studio, a charismatic young man with a song in his heart, the wind at his back, and a dream. A dream, Aaron! The wacky young man had no idea what he was getting himself into, and yet he came. So I ask you, Aaron, if that is your real name, what's the first thing you remember from that first meeting?
Let's see. You mean the first thing that pops into my head?
No, the first thing you remember.
Okay. No, it's no good. It's gone. It was such a long time ago, man.
You don't get my meaning. What's the first thing you remember saying after all the things you've forgotten?
Oh, I see. Wait, no, I forgot the question. Wait. Oh, remembering. Ah, there we go. Is this the right room?
After that, 3 simple words. Hey, I'm Aaron.
I was just following standard greeting procedures. Where did I go so wrong?
The name, man. The name! I've known you as Aaron, Aaron. Now here we are, sheltering in place in the middle of a pandemic, and you have the audacity to change your name? Do you have any idea what you've done? You have incurred the wrath of the IMDb gods!
I'm so sorry, Zan. We were just kids then. We didn't know any better. The truth is, I have lived my entire life going by my middle name, using only my full name, Daniel Aaron Bryant, as a formality, paying homage to the countless Daniels that have come before me in my ancestral line. For years have I lingered as an outcast, an oddity, an outsider, living on the boundary between the land of the two named people and the land of the three named people. Well, no more. From henceforth, you shall refer to me as Daniel Aaron Bryant in the credits, in the introductions, and the title, but casually as Aaron. I'm still the same man you once knew, Zan, through and through. I can only hope that the IMDb gods can forgive me for my mortal sin.
Oh, there will be punishment. Of that, you may be certain. Wait a minute. Your initials spell out dab?
Yeah, that's an added plus.
Is it though? Fine. It is what it is. There's no use crying over spilled credits. Let's get on with our show.
Welcome to the What's Update. I'm Xander Quation. Let's get started. Because of a pathological need for attention that is too much for one celestial body, Donald Trump has made it clear, well, clear for him, that he wants to begin mining on the moon. In a new executive order, Trump asserted that the U.S. never signed a 1979 agreement known as the Moon Treaty, and should have the right to engage in commercial exploration, recovery, and use of resources in outer space. Now, if this sounds familiar, it is because this line also appears as a standard clause in all of Trump's prenup agreements. In other notorious knobheads news, disgraced hedge fund manager and convicted felon Martin Shkreli claimed in a letter that he could cure COVID-19 if let out of prison for a few months. Shkreli, you may remember, earned the nickname Pharma Bro after his company, Turing Pharmaceuticals, purchased the manufacturing license for Daraprim, a drug that helps patients with HIV and AIDS, and jacked the price up from $13.50 per pill to $750 per pill. I say we let him out of prison. Wait, hear me out. What I mean is that we let him out of that prison and move him to Cook County Prison in Illinois, which has one of the highest rates of infection in the country. I'm sure his new cellmates could provide him some incentive. China has removed the new game Animal Crossing New Horizons from stores over virtual protesting. Pinduoduo and Taobao, two of the biggest e-commerce websites in China, have completely pulled the game from retail, apparently to prevent Hong Kong protesters from protesting virtually. Since nothing they're doing falls within Nintendo's guidelines of safe content, Animal Crossing New Horizons has become one of the few censorship-free zones where people can protest and publicly demand Hong Kong's separation from the country. Well, with the current situation, we think they should demand a separation of at least 6 feet. Or is it 2 meters in Hong Kong? I can never remember. And rejoice! Long-time platonic Chinese roommates ignore social distancing guidelines and finally have sex. That's right. After 13 years living together in Hong Kong Zoo, 2 giant pandas, Ying Ying and Lele, successfully mated. Who knew? All it took was a little quarantine-induced privacy for them to finally get their freak on. A couple of months without being stared at, and it is complete pandabonium in there. Which is also the title of their very successful sex tape. And that's our one per episode. A 99-year-old British war veteran has raised more than £25 million, approximately 31.3 million US dollars, for Britain's National Health Service by walking laps of his garden. Captain Tom Moore, a World War II veteran, set himself the target of walking the 25 meters around his garden 100 times before his 100th birthday. Captain Moore, who uses a walker since he broke his hip, beat his April 30th goal with 2 weeks to spare. Man, sometimes I get winded just going to the garage to get a fresh box of sodas. In any case, happy 100th, Captain Tom. A University of Texas student, Hookem, made it to the semifinals of the 2020 Jeopardy College Championship. With a score of $17,599, Marshall Kumo, a finance and business honors sophomore, earned an automatic spot in the semifinals, beating students from Princeton and Carnegie Mellon universities. Kumo was defeated in the semifinals by Xiaoke Ying, a sophomore at the University of Southern California. Despite her confusing Babe Ruth for Jackie Robinson on Jackie Robinson Day? Either way, I gotta up my game if I'm competing with this guy for a spot in Professor McConaughey's class. P.S. Professor, if you want to come on the show, we would be happy to have you. A Georgia bar owner removed thousands of dollar bills that had been stapled to the walls and donated them to her employees while the bar is closed. Jennifer Knox, who owns the Sandbar on Tybee Island, Georgia, said the 15-year tradition at the bar had been for patrons to write messages on the bills and staple them to the bar's walls. She and 5 volunteers spent 3.5 days removing and cleaning more than $3,700 worth of bills to pay 4 furloughed bartenders and 2 musicians. Now, this story would be even cooler if underneath all that wall cash, there was a mural of a cat and a Buddha in a tub. That would be awesome. Insurance companies are returning money because, well, no one's driving. Some auto insurers, like Allstate and State Farm, are sending payments out to their customers, since fewer drivers on the road is resulting in fewer accidents. Sure, it sounds good at first, but isn't it kind of like getting a rebate from Charmin or AngelSoft because you're constipated? Anyway, swarms of locusts are infesting eastern Africa, devouring crops in numbers high enough to block out the sun. The locusts, which arrived last year and because of above-average rainfall conditions have had 2 generations of breeding since then, have increased their populations up to 400 times. Alright, everybody. Who had locusts on their Passover Plague bingo card?
Bingo!
Hey, we got a winner! Nice! Researchers are reevaluating the intelligence of Neanderthals after finding the world's oldest yarn. The cord was discovered at the prehistoric cave site of Abri du Maras in the south of France and may be up to 52,000 years old. According to researchers, this find is the earliest known evidence of textile and cord making and suggests that Stone Age Neanderthals were perhaps much smarter than previously believed. It's kind of like if you found out that Eric Trump invented Legos. A nearly 60,000-year-old underwater forest may hold the secrets to creating new medicines and saving lives. The ancient cypress forest was still incredibly preserved, since its burial had prevented oxygen from decomposing it, and contained shipworms carrying samples of previously unknown bacteria, which could potentially be cultivated for medicines and renewable fuels. The forest, buried for millennia, was revealed when Hurricane Ivan hit the coast in 2004 and stirred up the seabed off the coast of Alabama in Mobile Bay. Wait, Alabama? Huh. Normally you only find clusters of bizarrely preserved old wood in Washington, D.C. Scientists have discovered that a species of now extinct prehistoric monkey may have crossed the Atlantic Ocean to settle in South America. The species of marmoset-sized monkeys are believed to have made the more than 900-mile trip across the Atlantic on floating islands of vegetation that broke off from coastlines, possibly during a tropical storm. Okay. That song, Riders in the Storm, is a lot cooler if you imagine that it's about tiny renegade monkeys on floating islands. And a family of 3 Borneo orangutans has formed an unusual friendship with a group of Asian small-clawed otters. Keepers at the Paradise Zoo in Belgium decided to add the otters to the orangutans' enclosure to keep the orange primates entertained and mentally stimulated. as the two very social species play together. The story was suggested to us by our senior zoology correspondent, Craig's Dipodal Scales, in an email he had titled, "Adorable Mammal!" with 5 exclamation points. Finally, in other non-mammal news, a dragon has been spotted on Mars. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has filmed the image that was hidden in part of Mars's Grand Canyon system, Valles Marineris, which stretches across the planet's equator. Ah, so that's why Mushu isn't in the live-action Mulan. It all makes sense to me now. Alright, we're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back. Welcome back. When the coronavirus pandemic was first identified in China in December, there was no way to predict the radical effects it would have on public health, business, and education, among others. It may seem trivial during a time where over 200,000 people worldwide have already died to worry in any way about the repercussions for the entertainment industry. Although it is still too soon to tell, the long-lasting effects on how people produce, distribute, and consume media in all forms will very likely entirely transform how we amuse, entertain, and distract ourselves. The colossal Chinese film industry was the first to take a hit. Hollywood soon began to feel the effects as well. The ramifications already range from canceled festivals, concerts, and pop culture conventions like San Diego Comic-Con, to disruptions in film and television production, distribution, and releases. The outbreak has also caused a massive spike in media consumption across the globe, with book reading and audiobook listening up by 14%, social media usage seeing an increase of 21%, and news consumption rising by 36%. In the week ending March 22nd, online traffic in the broadcast and streaming media segment increased by 80.1% compared to the reference period in January and February 2020. However, online visits for the entertainment events sector decreased by 57.3% during the same measured period. Because of shelter-in-place guidelines across the nation, news programs have had to move their operations home. Anchors, meteorologists, sportscasters, and pundits have scrambled to set up home studios. Even the late-night talk show hosts, with loyal audiences hungry for new content in a sports and new release-deficient world, have abandoned their high-tech studios, moved their writers to a safe distance, and lament the loss of the laughter of an audience. For the safety and health of all Longhorns, access to the Texas Student Television Studios and the University of Texas campus as a whole became unavailable during spring break. Undaunted, the What's Update cast and crew decided to take their cues from the big boys of late-night comedy. Well, mostly. There are a few subtle differences. We now join our senior Jaden interviewing correspondent, Daniel Aaron Bryant, and our senior Aaron interviewing correspondent, Jaden Franklin. Hey guys, it's me, Xander, in my studio. Can you hear me?
Hey Aaron, do you
Hello.
have like a
Guys?
Do I have a guitar?
Can
Yeah, I do.
favorite color, not a guitar?
Car? Oh yeah, I got a Lexus 350 RC.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, I'm muted.
Tesla Model 3?
Unmute me. Like, hit the little button.
You know, I have to go check it
Unmute
out.
me.
But
What about you? Can't get good help these days. All you get is a bunch of ungrateful mammals.
I have a bike, so I don't have a car right now.
oh, oh snap! Xander's here. Well,
I noticed.
we weren't talking about cars and bikes. Let's be professional. I'll make him join. Hey Zan, what's up, my man? How are you?
Hey Zan, what did you get in here, bro?
Well, I've been watching you two talk about all that sort of stuff for 5 minutes. Look, I know that all the late night hosts are all interviewing each other in one huge chat show circle jerk, but dang, guys, really? Really?
Interview each other? Yeah, that is totally what we were doing. We were practicing our interviewing skills. Right, Jaden?
Yeah, interviewing skills.
I think he bought it. But anyway, Zan, you make a really good point.
Which point is that?
The LAMAS, the Late Night Host Mutual Admiration Society.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's like they don't have anybody else's contact information or something.
Oh, don't get me started on all the complaining.
I know, right? It's all like, boo-hoo, we don't have an audience. Really?
Oh, boo-hoo, we don't get to hear them laugh.
Yeah, I don't know what they're convention about. We never had a live audience.
Yeah, we have to assume ours are laughing. They are laughing, aren't they?
They gotta be. That's the whole point of the show, is to make people laugh. And if they're not laughing, then what are we even here? Sam, they're laughing, right?
Hey, buddy. It's okay. They laugh. I promise. Anyways, it really is just tragic watching grown men comforting each other for still collecting their big business daddy paychecks and then getting their writing staffs and their technicians and all them people.
And don't forget their access to really good cameras, lighting, and audio.
Oh, and their editors and graphics departments and house bands. Like, it's such a burden to have John Batiste and Questlove on Zoom speed dial. Really?
And what about all those swanky New York apartments and the big LA mansions and all that? Like, I had to set up a studio in my mom's home office space. We had to rearrange the furniture and everything to fit in the camera, and the desk, the lights, the backdrop, audio equipment. I said too much.
I know, right? You know how hard it is to get some privacy and peace and quiet on your work when your little sister is right next door, jumping and stomping around and calling her girlfriends about her boy problems all day? Jeez.
Okay, you are both lucky. The only place I can find in my house to get some privacy and quiet is the bathroom.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to make too much of a big deal out of it.
It ain't the setting, it's, well, the bathroom itself. In Round Rock, there's a rooming grounds that they don't have indoor plumbing in Pflugerville. They say they all have to go out in your backyards, dig holes in the ground, poop in the hole, cover it up like a dog, and then wipe your butts with squirrels.
That's nuts, am I right? Sandy cheeks, more like pooping cheeks. Oh.
No, man, I heard that's how they did it in Arlington. Not here.
Arlington. Hey, wait a second.
Oh, man. Aaron, get the aloe vera because that was a sick burn on you.
What do you have against Arlington? We have the Cowboys Stadium and the Rangers ballpark.
He's salty.
What does Pflugerville have other than just a really weird spelling to their name?
Okay, first of all, the Cowboys are absolutely trash, and PF is the coolest way to pronounce anything with an F in it. Like, Pflugerville is so cool. Everybody wants to be us, okay?
Okay, guys. We can all agree on two things. One, Round Rock is quite obviously the best. And two, we must not fight amongst ourselves. We start fighting, the late night hosts win, and we cannot let those bunch of pampered panoches get to us.
That's right. They had to pull up their big girl choners and get over themselves.
Pennies.
Besides, they're a bunch of old men who have become far too comfortable, complacent even.
Yeah, and this is no country for old men. They'll never see us coming. A bunch of smart, good-looking young guys just hungry for the thrill.
Yeah, we are smart and good-looking, and we're tall. We're so tall.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming for your jobs, old man.
Yeah, that's right. Larry Wilmore, Eric Andre, and Trevor Noah, I got y'all in my sights.
You got it.
Better watch your back, Colbert, because I am young, I am funny, and I am Catholic. And I have a Jewish sidekick. I'm coming for you.
Hey, hold your horses there. Sidekick, buddy, you're the sidekick.
Oh, potato, patata. It's the same.
Potato. Whatever. Just whatever it is, the future is now, you bunch of geezers. We're coming for you. Oh, but Sam B, you're cool with us, man. Cheers.
Yeah, that's right. She's doing the Lord's work over there. No complaints here.
Yeah, lady power. The future is female. We love women.
We here at the What's Update are 100% all in, unironically, super pro women.
Women!
I really need a girlfriend.
You really do. Daniel Aaron Bryant and Jaden Franklin, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our guest today is one of my personal favorite artists in his field, so let's get started. Who you?
Who, me? Craig Russo
What to do?
and my dog. What do? Craig Draw. Craig draws comics.
And why?
And why? Why? I love comics. How's that for an answer?
I mean, as good as answer as any. So now on to the more like serious stuff. Is there anything that you're working on right now that you would like to tell our audience about?
Well, let's see. I was working on a Red Sonja book for Dynamite that's kind of been backburned a little bit as we kind of figure out what's happening with the whole comic industry. But I'm also currently working on the next volume of my creator-owned book, The Perhapanauts.
Oh, could you tell us more about that?
Oh, sure. It's a book about a Bigfoot, a chupacabra, a ghost, a Mothman. It's kind of like if the X-Files, if Mulder and Scully were monsters. So that's our pitch for that.
That sounds awesome. All right. Are there any like characters, like comic book characters, or just characters in general that you've always wished you could work on and get paid for or publish, but haven't yet?
I've been lucky enough to work on so many of them. One would definitely be Hellboy. I love me some Hellboy.
Hellboy in your style I imagine that'd look amazing.
Well, thank you. And at Marvel, I mean, I was about that close to draw a Thor project, and I would love to do that at some point.
All right. And speaking of a lot of your art, I've noticed that on Facebook you've been posting a lot of sketches of characters from Community. Did you watch the show when it first came on, or did you discover it after its runtime had ended?
Oh, I watched it religiously when it aired, and then I was watching it when it was on Yahoo, I guess, Yahoo, the streaming service there. But I kind of forgotten about it after a couple of years. So now that it's back on Netflix, I'm watching it again, and some of it is hitting me again for the first time. I'm loving it.
Who's your favorite character from the show?
It's weird. Like, obviously I love Jeff, but I kind of like Dean Pelton. Like, there's something about that guy that just makes me laugh every time he's on screen.
Yeah, I usually like the pairing of Troy and Abed.
Oh, Troy and Abed in the morning is brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to see like Donald Glover at that point, then like the transition that his career has gone through. But it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, when that Childish Gambino came out, I was like, oh, wow, yeah. that was a big switch.
Like this is an unexpected surprise, but a welcome one. Very impressive. You do a lot of the sketches in color and in black and white of comic book character heads. Are those for sale somewhere?
They are. If they're available, they're on sale through my website at craigrusso.com. It started out as a friend wanted me to do some sketches, and then it snowballed into me doing, more than he could buy, and me just having fun with it and kind of getting a rhythm. And I think I'm up to like a couple hundred Marvel characters and about 100 DC characters or so, and it just kind of it become an obsession.
All right, cool. We'll definitely get some links for that down the doobly-doo down below. On a personal note, do you happen to have a sketch of Impulse available? He is one of my favorite characters.
I just might.
Ooh.
Huh?
Excellent. As well. Notes from the disembodied voice. Do the publishers, like the original companies, give you any problems about selling your artwork of these characters, or is it more independent?
If I'm selling original artwork from the book, that's okay. And if I'm doing one-off sketches, that's not a problem. If I were to say, start making hundreds of prints of Impulse or Batman, they might have a problem with that. But doing one-off sketches has been acceptable, and they haven't changed that policy yet. I know that some publishers are a little tighter about that than others, and when I do my own stuff like the Perhapanauts, I can do whatever I want with it. So.
All right, cool. As usual, we kind of end off on a more of a fun question, though hopefully this one's a little bit more serious. If you had to give up one thing for a year, would you rather give up drawing or talking?
Oh, definitely talking. I love to draw, and it's weird.
Mr. Rousseau, your sound seems to have cut out. Can you hear me? I believe your sound is cut out. Could you try that again? I don't think he can hear me on his end either.
All right, we back to there.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. When did I kick out?
Pretty much as he started the question. So let's take that back. Reset back to one. Background artists, back to your positions. So if you had to give it one thing for a year, would you rather give it drawing or talking?
Oh, like I said, it would definitely be talking. I would not be able to stop drawing, and I could stop talking pretty easily.
Well, I mean, you just did, but that was mostly issues. All right. Well, Mr. Craig Rousseau, everybody. We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching our show. Special thanks to comic book artist Craig Russo for talking with us. Thank you to Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, Conan O'Brien, and John Oliver. Oh wait, I'm John Oliver. Okay, clearly that is a lie. Hey y'all, it's me, Zan. Thanks to all the late night guys for still doing their shows and for unwittingly participating in our shenanigans. Keep up the good work, and as always, it is what it is.